Hey guys, welcome to project number 4 of 13 Days of Halloween. I'm starting out on just a regular piece of cardstock, and I'm taking a whole bunch of different design tapes by Tim Holtz. It's from the Halloween set, and I'm just going to randomly place all of these tapes around my background. And I'm really just trying to fill in all the white space. I'm going vertically, horizontally, just trying to fill it all in. And then once that's completely filled up, I'm going to take a pair of non-stick scissors. These are by Fiskars, and they're supposed to, like, tape and glue and stuff isn't supposed to stick to them. And I'm going to cut away all of those extra edges hanging over. And then I'm going to take some Collage Page mat and go over my whole piece, and I'm going to take some cheap tissue paper. Yeah, it's important that it's cheap because I want to tone down my background a little bit, but I still want to be able to see those tissue tapes in the background. So I'm also going to scunch it up a little bit, not a whole lot, just a little bit. Understated scunching, which is the technical term, by the way. Oh, and once that's dry, I'm going to take some circle drywall tape and apply it to some of my corners. So I got this circle drywall tape from Donna Downey. It was $11.99 for the roll plus shipping. I did find it somewhere else online from, I think it's called Hyde, Hyde, Hyde Products, and it was the same, $11.99 a roll plus shipping. But I mean, that's a little steep, honestly, if you ask me. But Viva Las Vegas Stamps has a circle drywall tape stamp that you could use in place of this. You could just emboss it, and then you get those same circle textures that you get with the tape. I'm going to trim off the excess, and then I'm going to go in with some Finnabair clear gesso. I'm using clear gesso because I just want some tooth to the drywall tape because it's very absorbent. But I already toned down my background with the tissue paper, so I don't want to tone it down anymore with white gesso. And then once that's dry, I'm going to go in with some texture paste and a Crafter's Workshop ledger stencil. And I'm just going to apply the texture paste to my edges. I'm deliberately applying the part of the stencil that has like the scripty stuff over the drywall tape, and then the lines of the stencil where the drywall tape is not. And I'm also concentrating it mostly just around the edges because I know I'm going to put something in the center, and I don't want it to be hard to adhere something down over all that texture. And then I'm going to go in with some stamps by Darkroom Door. The set is called Grunge Marks, and some StazOn ink. It's important that it's StazOn or archival so that when I add paint and water, it doesn't run or disappear completely. And then this other stamp is called Row of Numbers by Viva Las Vegas Stamps. And then I'm going to take this Waybill invoice stamp, also by Viva Las Vegas Stamps, and some watering can archival ink. And now it's time to go in with some paint colors. I have Hansa Yellow Medium, Quinacridone Nickel Azel Gold, and Indian Yellow Hue. And I'm going to first go in with the Hansa Yellow Medium, and it got really yellow. But I hoped at this point that it would tone down a bit, and it did. So I'm just going to dry that layer, and then I'm going to go in with my Indian Yellow Hue and apply that, and it did help to tone it down a bit. And I'm just concentrating the full strength paint in the upper left and lower right, and then I'm just going to use my water bottle to kind of make it run around a little bit. And then lastly, the Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold, which really helps to deepen the color. It's a really delightful rust color, and I'm trying to make the paint very globby in some areas. I just like the way that looks. But I'm also going to use my water bottle to get things moving and running as well. Now that is mostly dry, and I'm going to go in with this Grunge number 3 by Viva Las Vegas Stamps. And I'm just going to stamp a little bit of the stamp, and you're not going to be able to tell that it's a 3, but I just want a little bit of more dark color in the corners there, a little more interest. And I didn't dry my project that well, so I'm wiping the stamp off in between stamping so I don't get paint on my ink pad. And then I'm going to take a Stabilo Marxol black water soluble pencil and run it around the edges, and then activate that color with my paintbrush. And then I'm going to spray my water bottle, and because the paint wasn't completely dry underneath, it got like really yicky. So I tried to blot that up as best I could. And then I'm going to add a little bit more of the quinacridone nickel azo gold. These are some Tim Holtz paper dolls from the Halloween pack. And then I'm also going to take some of these tickets and labels from the Tim Holtz ephemera pack. I thought it needed a little more interest around the edges. So I'm going to take some black soot distress ink and kind of grungy them up a little bit. And I also grungied this poison, but that doesn't end up making it onto the final projects. And I'm also going to try to obscure that white edge of the paper dolls with the distress ink as well. I'm really trying to get in all the corners, and it doesn't matter to me if that black soot ink gets over the witches, like not on the edges, you know, because it is a spooky piece, so it doesn't really matter to me. And then I'm going to go all around the edges of my project, which really did not make a difference. And then I'm going to apply my tickets with some clear tacky glue. And I know I'm going to run this piece through my sewing machine, so I'm just going to apply the glue not all the way to the edge of my ephemera pieces, because I don't want the glue to gum up my sewing machine needle, and also the stitching is going to hold them down in place, so I don't need to add glue all the way to the edge. And then I'm going to try to find some tissue tape for the witches to stand on. I thought about using this spider web because it's my favorite one from the pack, but I didn't really like it. It was a little too thick. I could have ripped it, but I don't know. I wanted this striped one because it had some of those orangey colors in, the same as the background. And I'm going to dull that down a little with that black soot as well. I'm going to apply a whole piece down, making sure that it completely covers where my witches are standing. And then I'm going to rip a piece and put that over the whole piece. It helps to have like a more organic edge when it's ripped like that. And then I'm going to add some more distress ink. And then I thought it needed a little more something else, so I'm taking the Stabilo Marxol and going around those rough edges. And I'm just using my finger to kind of smudge out that color a little bit. I'm going to trim off these ephemera pieces from the side. And then I'm going to glue my witches down with clear tacky glue. And what I like to do is apply the glue and then use my finger to spread it all around, because I hate when the glue seeps under the edges of what I'm gluing down. And it seems like it always happens to me. So after they're adhered down very well, I'm going to take that Stabilo Marxol and lightly go around the edges of the witches. And my pencil is a little too thick to completely meet where the paper dolls meet the page, so I'm going to blend that out with a little bit of water on a paintbrush and make sure that I push that color right up against where the paper dolls meet the project in the background. And then I'm going to take those extra pieces that I cut off from the left side and apply them to the upper right side. And I'm just going to apply 2 of them up there. I'm going to trim off the extra pieces, and it is the middle of the ephemera pieces, but I'm going to save them because nothing gets wasted, especially not Halloween art supplies. So I'm taking a sticker from the clippings, the Tim Holtz clippings, and it says Mischief. And I just kind of took the black soot and went around the edges, and then I ran the whole thing through my sewing machine just one time. It helps to finish it off, and I'm going to trim those little tails up, and that's it for this project. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm not going to say I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, because every time I say that, then something happens and I don't get a video up the next day. So I'm going to say I will talk to you guys soon. All right, bye-bye, guys.